high temperature of 120 degrees centigrade. The salt lasts 1 factory up to 5 kVA, 5 kilo tank. From 5 kVA to 80 kVA. They can stand the temperature of 80 degrees. The third group of bacteria class 3 bacteria from 80 kVA to above 100 kVA in molecular size. They are not stable. They are stable only at 50 degrees centigrade. Longer they cannot. The primary function of these bacteria is make a dent in the outer wall of plastic. They cleave the outer wall. When you cleave it, the inner content pushes out. All content pushes out. Even if the pathogen is alive, the bacteria enters its cell of pathogen and plasmids the DNA. So they cannot replicate. So that's one advantage. The bacteria producing probiotics. That's how they efficiently control pathogen. More efficiently. They also produce EPS and UVC by circuit. Okay? So now go to the next. Yeah. So these probiotics enhance systemic immunity. That is, they improve the mononuclear phagocytic cells like macrophages, monocytes, and enhance the innate response. They also stimulate proliferation of B lymphocytes and elevation of immunoglobulin IgG. So therefore, the immune response of these fish is high. In shrimp, they improve the cellular mediated immunity, lysozyme and phagocyte. Okay? The more important what is next. Three types of probiotics called water probiotics, feed probiotics, and soil probiotics. Water probiotics condition the water reduces the ammonia and controlling factors producing EPS producing and support impact. Improve habit. Stop. Third one is
very famous food in Tamil Nadu.
That's the food. We have an opportunity to take daily. Very best food. not only nutritious, it contains all these bacteria. The more gamma, it can reduce the pathogens. Food is one of the best food because it's fermented. We isolated several lactic acid bacteria from this food, which has a lot of anti-cancer products. Lot of can reduce because nowadays you are eating more fast food. Do you think the fast food is good for your health? Because colon cancer is now more prevalent in Indian youth. But one of the reasons is fast food. To avoid this, you have to eat lot of fermented foods. To eat a lot of fermented foods, take more care, more food. There are a lot of other foods like called Collagen. Have you heard Collagen? What is Collagen? Kerala is very famous. Collagen. What is the Collagen? It is not in the colors that we are using.
Yeast for the ferment water.
Yeah?
Yeast. You add yeast to ferment.
No, it's not
Coconut
yeast.
and yeast.
No. Collagen means they ferment the batter with algae.
Coconut.
Toddy contain, yeah, coconut toddy. You can use collagen toddy. Because the toddy contains a lot of yeast. It's good. The toddy contains a lot of yeast. A lot of fermented bacteria. Fermented they use collagen. Okay? So now why I want to insist is humans we are eating probiotics. But this probiotic cannot be used on animals. It won't work. That's why I want to show you last. Yeah. Here I use 3 probiotics. Okay? MC13 called Enterococcus fishery. LC means Lactococcus gamete. And then last PI80, Streptococcus okay. And then the last is Carnobacterium divergens. All from different sources. The first one is MC30, we are isolated from the from another marine fish. Okay? And milk fish. The third one is PIAP, Streptococcus okay, were isolated from the strain called Is indica. But when I start using fish, you see the Enterococcus species have the best respiratory activity in fish. So the PIAP or LC Lactococcus gamete doesn't have effect at all. And Carnobacterium divergens is from the human source. Even doesn't have an effect. You go to the next. Yeah. Next. This I use Streptococcus okay. Okay, PIAP. It works very well. So that shows these probiotics are animal specific. If you use a human probiotics animal, it won't work. If you use a probiotic isolated from a cattle, from a pig, from another source, it won't work in fish. If you isolate a probiotic from fish, it will work only in fish. If you isolate a probiotic from a shrimp, it will work in shrimp alone. So that is the basic character of these probiotics. But now the probiotics has been used worldwide. So a lot of market nowadays are available. Because I told you, not only it's a feed probiotic, there are also water probiotic as well as soil probiotic. They effectively control the pathogens, especially bacterial pathogens. Like Vibrio parasiticus, Vibrio harvey, they are effectively controlled by these probiotics, but not virus. That is the wrong. The next. There are also now prebiotics as I use. There are a lot of prebiotics, fructo-oligosaccharides, inulin, galactose, lactulose, breast milk oligosaccharides. The role of prebiotic is we can improve the population of probiotics. As such, they have very limited role. Okay. The next, they can increase the amount of lactic acid bacteria, producing bacteria, decrease the amount of short chain fatty acids, activates carbohydrates of the cells. But actually, they can improve the immune mechanism, but cannot control the pathogens. Next. Herbal medicine. So after this story, herbal medicine started after. That is, any plant product they started using to control the pathogens. There are a lot of publications. Next, you can see that quite a lot of publications using various kinds of herbal plants like this, and then Yucca Africa, and then you can have Ossimum sanctum, then somnifera, lot of things. They are able to publish it, they are able to control, and they reported high immune response activity. But till today, none of them is commercialized. No concrete evidence they have approved, provided in culture in a pond. Okay, the earlier two cases, okay, immunostimulants as well as probiotics, they are now widely used as a commercial. As herbal medicine is not at all proved in commercial. Okay, yes, they have activity. How much you have used in your feed, the raw material of the ingredients vary. They are not concentrated.
பாஸ்வேர்டு சொல்றேன்
Very useful for plant delivery.
யாருமே
But how it will be applied in aquaculture? So we isolated the whole cycle, characterize the whole cycle. Our aim is to use this polysaccharide, control the virus. But unfortunately, that cannot be happened because of corona. So we use to synthesize nanoparticles like silver and selenium. And then calculate the common cause. I never common is work very well. That's why I'm going to show.
செல்லு உங்க செல்லியாவது கொடுத்து கனெக்ட் பண்ண சொல்லுவேன் உங்க செல்லு வச்சுட்டு வரும் வெளியே
Yeah, I'm sorry.
அப்படியே காமி
இங்கதான் இருக்கு சரி
So
சரி
use selenium.
அது இதுதான் இருக்கு
At most 8 grams. But control the growth just 8 grams. Okay? Whereas silver particles, that one is grams. There is enhancement of fish weight by using nanoparticles, concentration is just 1 mg per kilogram of that. Just 1 mg, that's all. Not only it enhances survival activity. Well, so finally, I am coming to the not any one of these techniques, that is immunostimulant or probiotic or nanotechnology. See, improve the fish health as well as human health to control the thank you. No, saline is not not on. So because of no, no, that is the advantage. But still, the selling faster. But we have to do much selection. It is only a preliminary study. It's a very good response there.
நமக்கு காதே புரியல.
How is nanoparticles getting into the no, no, to the sea. I
சரி சரி. குமரன் பேசு குமரன் இல்ல பிரசன்டேஷன் அலோவ் பண்ணுறேன். அவர் அலோவ் பண்ண குமரன் அலோவ் பண்ண கேமரா கேமரா இது மைக் குமரன் பிரசன்ட் பண்ணாம்பா பண்றியா? அவர் ஆன் பண்ணணுமா? சரி ஆன் பண்ண சொல்றேன். நீ உன்னோட இது தெரியுது. பட் நீ பிரசன்டேஷன் ஆரம்பிக்கணும். நீ ஷேர் பண்ணிக்கலாம்ல. நீ ஷேர் பண்ணு. உங்களுக்கு அவர்கிட்ட பேசு.
Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah. But okay. If I give full screen, it is not displayed to you. That's why it's some technical issue, I thought. So shall I continue in this same mode? Okay. Okay, fine. Good afternoon to all. Today, this my this wonderful National Fish Immunology Conference. This session is I'm sharing my research and basic knowledge to the students. Nano formulation and fish immunology. I'm working as a scientist and Center for Drug Discovery and Development at Ibama Institute of Science and Technology. In my short CV, it's a total I published regarding this aquaculture and fish immunological aspect. I did my MPhil and PhD under that with Davis companies as well. And my overall impact and here the book publication and international patent, the fish feed formulation and enrich also granted from the international last month only. So the basic is a definition of nanotechnology. It's a 10 power minus 9 particle. This particle it's play a vital role. Past 20 years back, the nanotechnology is boom. Now there's most of the research article they are giving the high preferences. For example, the University Madras University said 15 years back they started the Nano Center for Nano Study Technology Institute to developing the nanotechnology area because it's a wide range of application nanotechnology. So the fish immunological and aquaculture area nowadays they're preparing the feeds and some vaccine formulation, the nano-based formations. So the introduction, it's a creation, the synthesis, the application, lot of the application. Whatever you can use this nanoparticle, for example, the paint or anything, any food material, food industry, aquaculture industry, or medicine industry for the drug delivery also. So the basic nanotechnology initially from the Tokyo, the Japan 1974 is developed these nanometers. The sizes is different shapes. For example, the nano shapes, tubes, rods, particle size, different kinds of the shapes is that. Based on the application, we can synthesize the nanoparticle based on our need of the interest. And the material nanoscale, the variety of the products, for example, their application in agriculture sector is playing a vital role. A lot of the nano fertilizer, it can enhancing, it's a boost, it can catalyst, that's the main thing. It can increase the way of the any workout. For example, sensor, they are using a lot of the nanorobotics and veterinary care, fisheries, aquaculture, and nutrient deficiencies. And photocatalyst, nano barcode, quantum dots, a lot of etc. This nanotechnology. What's a nanomaterial? It's a material science studies. They are doing the preparing the nanomaterial from any part of, for example, the polymer nanoparticles. It's a different chemical form. It's normally the majority two different things dividing the nanoparticle, the polymeric nanoparticle, metal nanoparticle. Some of the metals, it's highly active, inhibiting the bacteria, but it will cause the affect the host cell also. But the polymeric nanoparticle, example, the chitosan, like the gelatin, the protein or polymer-based nanoparticle and lipid-based nanoparticle, it's a wonderful, it's highly safe for the medical technology. And some of the toxic metals also is there. And it's made different shapes. For example, nanofilms, nanowires, tubes, particles, which can be spherical or not spherical. And here it's a basic the composites, dendrimers, and metal-based and carbon-based materials. So we can use this kind of this nano-sized clay or organic. We can use for the agricultural, adding the biofertilizer too. And we have some regulation using the nanoparticle. In earlier, the European regulations, actually the registration covers in the principle health, safety, and environmental risk. It's relation to the nanoparticle. So some of the metal nanoparticle, it's having the limitations. It can affect the host cell also. So, but compare the nowadays the developing the polymer nanoparticle. The best known and applicable is chitosan nanoparticle, and other than collagen nanoparticle. A lot of the polymer nanoparticle will developed and now commercially available too. They are having the REACH. The REACH is a registration, evaluation, authorization, restriction of chemicals. All the chemicals under the REACH control by the, what is the evaluation and what is the rules and regulation, dosages. They can they are having the rule for this For example, the European Parliament and Council, they are in the place they given the nanotechnology. It's a greater than, and reports there no provision still no the for the nano material because it's highly safe one and reach a nano material. It's a current testing guidelines may need to be modified. Modified in term testing should be carried out according to existing guidelines. So this is a basic knowledge of the nanoparticle and the rules and regulation. And how to synthesize the nanoparticle? It's a very it's amendment during the 2008 amendment actually. It's a commission article. It's and this is synthesis of nanoparticle. How to synthesize the nanoparticles? Yeah, actually autonomously, naturally for all the pond drainage water, some of the metal is presented, the contaminated metal is presented in the water. Some of the bacterial producing enzymes to synthesize the nanoparticle size. Yes, for the synthesis of nanoparticle, we need just any catalyst material. That's like the plant material or metals or anything. It's dividing the size of the particle, micro size as well as the nano size. So this nano size highly applicable. It's having any property to join with any other particles. What is the methods? Normally nowadays they're using a lot of the bacteria and fungi and algae compounds to use of the synthesis of the nanoparticle, and as well as the plant extract, a lot of the root based extract showing the good high level of the nanoparticle productions. For example, there's normal terms, for example, the protein based nanoparticle also available and synthetic nanoparticles, a lot of the nanoparticles. And from the, just we are going to see the examples from the microorganism, fungi, algae and metal based nanoparticles. But the polymer based nanoparticle, we need just any catalyst. For example, the tripolyphosphate is enough for to synthesis, the best method to optimize and easiest method for the tripolyphosphate. They are using this salt can synthesize autonomously more and more nanoparticles from the polymer based nanoparticles. So nowadays the coated with the nano coated mask and defense related nanotechnology, they can self assembly and bone tissue regeneration. So as well more and more nanoparticle, it's wonderful field. And some of the, for example, the bacteria quite useful. Everyone know the harmful beneficial bacteria, non-beneficial and infectious bacteria. Most of the bacteria is beneficial for us living. All the most of the, it's some fungus also, endophytes fungus, it's highly beneficial to plant and more organisms. And here for food production, we are using a lot of the cheese cuts, bread. So the microorganism, it's wonderful for supporting us to our lifestyle. And some of the harmful bacteria, it can cause spoiling the disease. So normally the microorganisms are capable of interacting with the organism then through the cells to form the nanoparticle. Very easy actually, it's a simple mechanisms. For example, you can just take the AgNO3 solutions, AgNO3 silver-netted solution for you can add some microbial metabolites. It's a partial or purified or anything. Just you can add to the any enzymes or any product to the silver-netted solution. It can just catalyze, circulate the AgNO3, can divide the, it will immediately form the silver nitrate, silver nanoparticles. It can divide the nitrate individual and silver. So there's a silver ions will be formed. So based on some of the extract, producing more and more of the nanoparticle synthesis in the silver ions, metal ions. So it's a basic for silver nitrate solution, but some of the person interested with now the focused with the iron nanoparticle, ferrous nanoparticle and selenium nanoparticle. Now there's selenium, a lot of the particles continuously publishing in worldwide relating to the selenium and iron and ferrous, because the silver nitrate it's below the 30-degree size or 100-degree size. Below the 30-degree size only it's safe for us. Otherwise it will affect the completely host cell, the silver nitrate, but it's highly active to inhibit the bacterial also. So the previous metal and they are using this a lot of the water purification purpose. This nanotechnology, nanoparticle synthesis, they are using the water purification and sewage treatment. Lot of work is going on. And what is happening in the inside the principle? There's still some microorganisms. It's normally can oxidize the matter from the sulfate. It's like the electron acceptor metabolisms. For example, here the non-toxic, some of the less toxic or non-toxic, whatever, but only the protein or polymer based only this much of the non-toxic or less toxic. But it's metal having little bit toxicity, some of the higher toxicity. So we need to reduce the size of the nanoparticle size, then only it will be safe for the any treatment purposes. So some of the microorganisms, it's producing like the lot of the polysaccharides and phosphate hydrolyzed groups. It's a higher and bind extracellularly. For example, just one of the example, the Pseudomonas bacteria. Normally, it's one of the reported found in silver mines are capable of accumulating a lot of the silver inside the wall and out there the cell walls. And bacterial strains, it's high concentrations of the salt like the AgNO3. Actually, what is happening in the intracellular fungi? It's another example. Fungus, the verticillium nanoparticle can be produced intracellularly. So now we are seeing the basic, the bacterial and metal nanoparticle, fungi based nanoparticle. These silver ions from the silver salt possibly get trapped in the fungal cells. So what's happening? The positive charge and to the negative charge carboxyl groups in the enzymes. So the enzymes play a vital role for the microbial enzymes. For example, the microbiologist, it's in the isolating the rare or ecosystem bacteria. For example, ocean-based, marine-based bacteria, allophilic bacteria, they can synthesize the allophilic bacterial enzymes for synthesis of the nanoparticles. So it's a novel thing for compare than terrestrial. The marine-based isolates and fish gut microbiome also can produce some of the to induce the nanoparticle synthesis also. So this cadmium, zinc and lead can be producing. So all the most of the metals we can use for the nanoparticle based on the application oriented. We can do some of the desulfobacteriaceae, which is the form of the very small size of the 2 to 5 nanometer. The size, if the less its activity and it's a good quality. So we need to the production of the less size of the nanoparticle, that will be fine. Okay. The yeast also is cadmium nanoparticle. It's synthesized using the Candida galbaca and the nitrogen-free medium. They are done they check the most of the yeast-based and all the base. The mechanism, what is the mechanism? It's a cadmium is toxic to the cells normally. So we need to reduce the cadmium toxic, the protective coating proteins available to them. So from the plant extract based nanoparticle. For example, the use of the microorganism to produce nanoparticle, its extract is relatively less investigated. Okay, and so now next upcoming slides we are going to see how to relate it with the nanoparticle to the fish immunology or how to develop the aquaculture industry for the nanotechnology. So now, we'll move out to it's a ferritin protein-based nanoparticles, a colloidal protein. A lot of the collagen-based protein nanoparticles is good for the applicable one for the leather industries. The proteins, its animal have only up to 14% in the amino acid sequences. So you can the structure. It's a basic thing only. There are 24 protein and diameter polypeptide. So we can go there some examples. Some of the static self-assembly, crystalline structure to melt in film. And the living animals, so the dynamics, some of the self-assembly to supply the food proper temperature. So now next step is the how to characterize. For example, now we see the just synthesis of the nanoparticle from metal or polymeric nanoparticle. For metal means we can use the plant extract and microbial extract or any type of the enzyme based extract. We can use the synthesis of the nanoparticle. We can choose based on the application oriented, we can choose the silver ion, silver nitrate or cadmium or ferrous or iron based nanoparticle. We can choose the metals or otherwise we can go for the polymeric nanoparticle. This polymeric nanoparticle means any polymer based, the protein or polysaccharide or lipid based nanoparticle. So lot of the drug delivery system nowadays they are only the focusing with the polymeric nanoparticle because it's a self-degradable and it's highest safe to the host cell. So already the commercial lot of things available for the chitosan based nanoparticle, other nanoparticles. So the organic molecules, for example, how to characterize the nanoparticle. The 5 things were important. Actually, most of the characterization available, but to validate the correct procedure, we need to the minimum 5 analysis need to the analyze the nanoparticles. For example, the electron microscopy, XRD, UV spec, and FTR, it's important for the characterization of the nanoparticles. So the 10 power minus is a nano size. So characterization, it's a microscope whose measured nanoparticle. For example, it's a scale of nanoparticle 10 power 8 based on the size wise. So the characterization technique, first the microscopic scanning and transmission and scanning. We need to observe the surface. The scanning electron microscope main objective to we get the surface of the image. Okay. So these are the analytic technical for the optical imaging characterization, but it is not, don't complicate with the more and more techniques. We need nowadays, we are doing only the 5 basic analytic technical to validate the nanoparticle characterizations. For example, the SEM, scanning electron microscope, transmission electron microscopes. So each and every microscope, based on the facility, you can use the this atomic or chemical magnetic to improve the validation based on your work. And ICP for normally the heavy metal analysis, elemental analysis, it's a common analysis. So XRD is the important characterization of the nanoparticle, XRD, to validate one. Okay. The electron microscope is a basic important to validate the structure of the nanoparticle. For example, it's a 1 lakh times the magnification. So we can view the electron microscope, the viruses, or bacteria, or internal structure, whatever in the molecules. So the major transmission and scanning electron microscope. So it can use the electrons. Both are electrons only. It's a transmission. It's a scanning, 3-dimensional, and some procedures staining. And electron microscopes, it's a beam based on the beam. So the major limitation, these are the scanning and TEM. These are the common transmission electron microscope. We need to code the grid of our sample on the grid. Okay, it's just basic SEM images, all these SEM images. The surface, we can observe the surface, the size, we can know the size based on the SEM images. And these are the basic only, the transmission electron used to design it. So the XRD is the important characterization of the nanoparticle. So what is the need for this future prospection, marine aquaculture? Everyone know the aquaculture is, we are increasing the GDP. If we are exporting more and more product to other country, we can increase the GDP also growth. So already the demand, high demand, because the shrimp and the fishes, it's having the rich protein sources, the shrimp, 63% of protein, the increasing demand of fish. So the farmers, a lot of the new startups with the moving to they are spending a lot of the money for the culturing for the feed purposes. So we need to incorporate with the nanoparticle based feeds, but nanoparticle based feeds. So nanoparticle based feeds with the immunostimulatory property. We need to increase because due to the environmental nowadays the conditions, we need to give the disease resistant power for the fishes to support the aquaculture farmers, because everyone know the WSSC white spot syndrome viruses, the worldwide diseases. So a lot of the projects and a lot of the research already done our nation validate, but still now it's an issue only creating. So we need to directly induce the non-specific or specific immune response of fishes, or shrimp only having the non-specific responses only. The fish only having the specific response and non-specific as well. So our food to give the rich day-to-day per day, the 43% of the protein feed diet, and based on the day-to-day requirements. We are also not taking our day-to-day food requirements. We need the 45 to 50 gram of the protein we need per day, but we are also taking that much of the protein day-to-day our lifestyle. So we need the perfect balanced diet, formulated feed with the nano incorporated with any derivatives. This derivative only to induce the immune responses. So, for example, I am telling the chitin. Chitin is the second abundant polysaccharide in the earth. So, the chitin derivatives having the wonderful property. For example, the chitin is a shrimp shells contain the chitin only. It's an insoluble form. If the remove the acetyl deacetylation process, it's soluble to the chitosan form. But we need the chitin derivatives. This derivative means a disaccharide. The chitin is a polysaccharide, disaccharide is a kind of use, and monosaccharide is N-acetyl D-glucosamine. So these N-acetyl D-glucosamine having the strong immunostimulatory property, NAT. So we need to use any degrading, the chitin also creating some pollution also in the coastal pollution. So it's like, because it takes the degrade time to hard 5 years for the degradation time, the shells degrading. So some of the effective bacteria can degrade the chitin shells is to break down the product of the disaccharide and monosaccharide. So I plan to get the monosaccharide, particular monosaccharide, the NAD, and incorporate it with the same chitosan nanoparticle.
Fisheries means what it is. Actually, it is more of proteins. So the nutritive value, especially proteins, we can able to find with the help of fisheries. So what is fishery? So an organized effort by humans to catch the fish or other aquatic species. A fishery is just like a large predator in the food web. Often there will be fisheries for several different animals at different levels in the food web. So what is why fishery is very important? Just to consume a fish, just for food? Not only just for food. So fishery is very much important in the field of to get commercial purpose, revenue, that and also for culture, tourism, to get medicines, to get minerals, to produce fuel as well as fertilizers, and also for food for pets, and also to get cosmetics. So all the major fields which will be applied in fisheries. So generally there are three types of fisheries over there: subsistence, which is to survive, and recreational, which is for fun and food, and commercial, which is for to get revenue. So which is most important among the other two. So the fishes can be classified into three categories. First is whitefish, which includes cod, haddock, plaice. And second category is oily fish, which includes salmon, trout, herring. And the third category is shellfish, which includes lobster, prawn, and crab. So before moving on to the byproducts processing of bioactive drugs, let's see about a small introduction about fish. So if we say fish, all the foodies, all the seafood lovers. So without fish, we cannot have a lunch if we go for a buffet, right? So fish, which muscles, which forms the edible part, accounts for most of the weight of the fish. So we all know the guts, that is, which includes the body cavity like stomach, intestine, liver, all together compiles the guts. So we should remove the guts for the further processing of preservation, right? So if we take the proximate composition, 60 to 80% constitute moisture, 18 to 20% constitute crude protein, and 0.5 to 19% will be crude fat, and 0.5 to 1.5% will be minerals. If we take minor components, they will be having glycogen, sugar phosphates, nucleotides, vitamins, cholesterol, hemoglobin, myoglobin, non-protein hydrogenous substance, enzymes, hormones, and many other substances. And one important question: what makes fish different from other food? What is the speciality of the fish? Since it contains high amount of trimethyl amino oxide, and also it has variations in the lipid content among different species, and also it has highly unsaturated fatty acids, and also appreciable amount of omega-3 fatty acids. We all know that it is a good for heart, right? And also it has low carbs. So all these makes a fish different from other foods. So if we take protein content, it is around 50 to 20%. But if you take fat content, it may varies from species to species, and also from shells of crustaceans and shellfish from time microbes also can be
infections. The macrophages, it's a big eaters. The macrophages, it can play an important role day-to-day our activity in life. It's a eat and kill and check cell code. The MSC major histocompatibility 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and eosinophils. It's a parasitically only the specially. For example, the interferons are naturally or batting on the interferons. It only against the virus to kill the viruses. We having the already naturally having the well developed the immune system against all the environmental conditioning. But if we have the poor lifestyle of the food lifestyle, it will be affect completely our. For example, if you are sleeping, if you did not sleep in the midnight, it will be affect the apoptosis process, the programmed cell death process. It can affect the melatonin production because the melatonin important role for the apoptosis, the programmed cell death process. If you not sleep every day night, it will be sure affect. So the important thing, it will completely affect your immunological system also. So we need a balanced vitamin and micro and macro nutrients for sustained to fight against natural diseases day to day of life. So neutrophils, it's a flat cell. So it's a foreign virus in cell, protozoa, natural killer cells. Just I'm telling the basic introduction of the nanotechnology and fish immunology. Spleen, it's an important role in the fish immunological systems. It's an important organ. So, sorry, it's over, I thought. Okay. What is related to the nanotechnology? It's having the carriers, already I told the chitosan and polylactide call, it's a vaccine antigen, and it shows the highly affect the rDNA technology for the chitosan providing against the WSS shrimp infection. So here the delivery reports, however, ethical carrying the sector. So the DNA chitosan complex seems to achieve the more and more efficient drug delivery systems. For example, the smart drug delivery, already they're developing the probiotics, hormones, chemicals, and vaccines, whatever the DNA and encapsulation wrap around systems. Today, the application of antibiotics, they are focusing with the pharmaceuticals and nutraceuticals. Nutraceuticals, it's before the healthier food, the food for medicine, it's a nutraceuticals. The food is a medicinal food. If we are taking before the phenolic content vegetables, whatever we can taking, it's a nutraceuticals. The marine-based nutraceuticals, the seaweed is also one of the best nutraceuticals. And they can use the feed or injection system. How to enhance already a lot of the reported the selenium, it's induce enhancement of the fish growth. They can add the supplemented in the basal diet of the final weight, and they can give the specific growth rate and relative gain rate and antioxidant status, everything. The glutathione for oxidase activities, muscle, the selenium concentration, it's increasing the crabs. They are using the tagging, whatever you can use a nanoparticle, you can synthesize and characterize. After you can use the applicable one. For the tagging, the nano barcode is a monitoring device in which is the processing industry can exports on monitor source of the track. You can track the nano. It's totally different from the biological and technology based to work delivery status of the aqua product, the market. Till you can know the quality, you can check the nano based film, aqua film layer. For example, the food wrapping material. Some of the plant-based food wrapping materials, smart packaging or intelligent packaging, they can coat it with the nanoparticle. It can increase the food shelf life for the meat production. They are sending the export quality. Just we can wrap the food wrapping, nano-based food wrapping material. It will reach more than 45 days. So we can give the consistency of the muscle layer of the meat structure. So the nanotechnology, the food wrapping nowadays, they are doing the wonderful. Their startup companies are a lot of started in other countries. It's a filtration process. They are using the nanotechnology for the filtration remediation process. Activated the carbon alumina with additives. The zeolite, it's a very simple salt material. It's a very less cost-wise, it's very light, but it's doing the wonderful work for absorbing the metals. The zeolite absorbing the metals components. So we can use the aquaculture site also. We can filtration unit. And I thought 5 more minutes to end the session. Nanotechnology, it's a cleaning product, the swimming pools or fish, nano check, and the removal of bacteria and carbon, aluminum additives, zeolite, same. Okay, and harvest and post harvest technology with the help of the, for example, the surface of the lure nano coated with a polyimide film, which enhance the change of the containing fish to 3 compounds. What is the final the application of the nanotechnology in aquaculture? So, land-based aquaculture advantages, lot of the it's a disease resistant, increase the immunological and food absorptions, and construction material for water filtration you need for aquaculture industries, and remove microbes, organic matter removings, and it play a vital role there to kill.
The Vice Chancellor, sir, and respected Registrar, sir, Dean, Directors, and faculty members of Annamalai University. So, good afternoon to all the dignitaries. Very happy to be here a part of this national seminar. Today I'm going to talk about importance of biochemistry in fisheries. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the role of biochemistry in the byproducts processing in fisheries. So before moving on to the topic, what is biochemistry? So biochemistry, the study of the chemical substances and vital processes occurring in living organisms. See, if we take example, if we take food, what is the purpose of food we are eating? So to just get energy, right? So the food what we are taking in, how it converts into energy. So everything will be explained by the process called biochemistry. So all the metabolisms, what are the things happening, what are the enzymes which is used for the conversion of food to get energy, all the things can be explained by biochemistry. So biochemistry is the backbone for all the life science departments. So if we take biochemistry, the applications can be filled in all the fields, which include science, forensics, bioinformatics, patent, commerce. So in the field of research, it has wide applications, which includes fundamental research like protein structure, genes function, enzyme function. And if we take biotechnology, it has enormous applications like crop improvement, forestry, environmental protection, pharmaceuticals, and if we take human health, so we know that most of the diseases still we didn't find the drugs, right? So like cancer, Alzheimer's, diabetes, infectious disease, arthritis, HIV, still the research is going on with the help of biochemistry. So like the nutritive values, the most important thing for all the living organisms, which includes plants, animals, human beings. So for all the human living organisms, the nutritive value of food is very much important. So all the nutritive values can be determined by biochemical test, right? So with the biochemical test, we can able to identify the quality of the food as well as the quantity of the food, how much food we should take, and the food which we should not take. Everything can be determined with the help of biochemical test. So if we take diet, what are all the things we should need, like carbohydrates, proteins, minerals, vitamins, fat, everything in a right proportion. So that right proportion, how can we diagnose that it is a right proportion? Through series of biochemical tests. So today we are going to see about fisheries. So fisheries means what it is. Actually, it is more of proteins. So the nutritive value, especially proteins, we can able to find with the help of fisheries. So what is fishery? So an organized effort by humans to catch the fish or other aquatic species. A fishery is just like a large predator in the food web. Often there will be fisheries for several different animals at different levels in the food web. So what is why fishery is very important? Just to consume a fish, just for food? Not only just for food. So fishery is very much important in the field of to get commercial purpose, revenue, that and also for culture, tourism, to get medicines, to get minerals, to produce fuel as well as fertilizers, and also for food for pets, and also to get cosmetics. So all the major fields which will be applied in fisheries. So generally there are three types of fisheries over there: subsistence, which is to survive, and recreational, which is for fun and food, and commercial, which is for to get revenue. So which is most important among the other two. So the fishes can be classified into three categories. First is whitefish, which includes cod, haddock, plaice. And second category is oily fish, which includes salmon, trout, herring. And the third category is shellfish, which includes lobster, prawn, and crab. So before moving on to the byproducts processing of bioactive drugs, let's see about a small introduction about fish. So if we say fish, all the foodies, all the seafood lovers. So without fish, we cannot have a lunch if you go for a buffet, right? So fish, which muscles, which forms the edible part, accounts for most of the weight of the fish. So we all know the guts, that is, which includes the body cavity, like stomach, intestine, liver, all together compiles the guts. So we should remove the guts for the further processing of preservation, right? So if we take the proximate composition, uh, 60 to 80% constitute moisture, 18 to 20% constitute crude protein, and 0.5 to 19% will be crude fat, and 0.5 to 1.5% will be minerals. If we take minor components, they will be having glycogen, sugar phosphates, nucleotides, vitamins, cholesterol, hemoglobin, myoglobin, non-protein hydrogenous substance, enzymes, hormones, and many other substances. And one important question: what makes fish different from other food? What is the speciality of the fish? Since it contains high amount of trimethyl amino oxide, and also it has variations in the lipid content among different species, and also it has highly unsaturated fatty acids, and also appreciable amount of omega-3 fatty acids. We all know that it is a good for heart, right? And also it has low carbs. So all these makes a fish different from other foods. So if we take protein content, it is around 50 to 20%. But if you take fat content, it may varies from species to species and also from season to season. See, for example, if you take fatty fish, which is in under starved conditions, that time if you check their fat content, it will be around 0.5%. The same fish in some other season, it may go up to 20%. So the fat content may vary, depends upon the season to season. So as we are talking about protein, generally it has 16 to 18%, varies with season, and also like other phenomena like feeding and spawning. So if a fish is below 15% of protein, then it may considered as a low protein content fish. And one more important point is that if you take a light mussel, which is more, if you take light mussel, which is more of protein when compared to red mussel. So which is less in protein when compared to white mussel. So as proteins, it is composed of amino acids. So our fish protein, which contains all the essential amino acids in good proportions, especially lysine, which is rich. And if we take fat, it contains fatty acids, glycerides, phosphoglycerides, sphingolipids, aliphatic alcohols, waxes, steroids, and in the range between 0.5 to 18%. And it also contains monounsaturated fatty acids like palmitoleic, oleic, and polyunsaturated fatty acids, which includes arachidonic and eicopentanoic acid and docosahexaenoic acid. Apart from proteins and fats, fish also contains more number of vitamins, which are including vitamin A, D, E, and also rich in vitamin B, Vitamin D is found in cod liver oil, and vitamin A is found in shark liver oil. So it is also fish also has important minerals like calcium, sodium, potassium, phosphorus, magnesium, calcium, iodine, and fluoride. So now we moving on to the bioactive compounds, which is taken from the marine processing byproducts. Actually, if we take a fish, what we'll do? We'll eat the flesh, we'll eat the muscle, right? We'll discard the head and also tail portion and also the bones. Before cleaning, that is during cleaning process itself, what we'll do, we'll remove the scales, fins, and then viscera, everything will be removing, all will be discarded, right? So all these products, all these components will be converted into bioactive compounds, which has a wide range of applications in majority of the fields, which includes food industry, nutraceutical industries, pharmaceutical industries, so which plays an important revenue for our country as well as worldwide. So that is the food what we are eating, the fish what we are consuming. So apart from this, the byproducts, they are getting more revenue when compared to these consumable fishes. So bioactive compounds from marine processing byproducts, if you take around 50% of the total world fish production, among that 70% of this used for byproduct processing. So every year, if we take a considerable amount of total cash is discarded as processing leftovers. That is, which includes trimmings, fins, frames, head, skin, viscera. So everything which is leftover discarded, that can be used for the process of byproducts, for the production of byproducts. Apart from the fish, shells of crustaceans and shellfish from marine bioprocessing also can be used. So if you take world fisheries, the discards exceeds 20 million tons, which is equivalent to 25% of the total production of marine capture fisheries. So these marine bioprocess industry, which produces byproducts as a valuable products. So we all know that fish liver oil, right? Fish oil. So which is the most important byproduct, and also fish meal, fertilizers, pet food, and fish silage. Everything can be prepared by these leftovers. So the bioactive compounds can be extracted and purified with technologies varying from simple to complex. That is, depends upon the waste products, depends upon the byproduct, what we are going to prepare. So depends upon these processes, the production, the processing of byproducts will vary from simple to complex mechanisms. So fish muscle protein. So that is from the muscle we can get byproducts like fish frames and cutoffs, which is mechanically deboned fish contains considerable amount of muscle proteins. So if we take the muscle proteins, which is very nutritionally highly valuable, and also it is easily digestible. So this we can produce protein hydrolysates, which is an important byproduct of several marine species, which has nutritional as well as functional properties. So which is rich in proteins. So which can be used as a nutraceuticals, supplementary foods. See, through various hydrolytic enzymes, the enzymatic hydrolysis, that is, we can take these enzymes from microbes, plants as well as animals, and can be used for this processing of byproducts, so that we can get fish protein hydrolysates, which can be used as a supplementation for many nutraceuticals. So these bioactive peptides, that is protein hydrolysates, can be used as an antihypertensive and can be, which has antithrombotic, immunomodulatory, and antioxidative activities. So the research also shows that which exhibits the lowering blood pressure in spontaneously hypertensive rats. And these bioactive peptides also have shown anticoagulant and antiplatelet properties. So these peptides, which is derived from fish proteins, have shown the ability of exerting potent antioxidative activities in different oxidative systems. So fish peptides are capable of accelerating calcium absorption. So as many of us, we are deficient of calcium, so that we are getting chronic disease like osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, obesity, and cancer, right? So all these can be overcome through this bioactive peptides. So these peptides are capable of binding cell surface receptors on osteoclast and involved mainly in calcium metabolism by decreasing the number of osteoclasts. So therefore these peptides could be used as a good for osteoporosis and Paget's disease. So acidic peptides, that is from Atlantic cod hydrolysate, have shown strong immunostimulatory effects. And next, collagen and gelatin from fish skin. So from fish skin, we can produce collagen and gelatin. So both collagen and gelatin are currently used in diverse fields, including food, cosmetics, and biomedical industries. So both collagen and gelatin are different forms, but are the same macromolecules. But gelatin is a partially hydrolyzed form of collagen. So by denaturation, we can convert collagen into gelatin. So apart from skin, collagen and gelatin could be isolated from bones and fins from fishes. So from bones and fins also we can able to produce collagen and gelatin. So if we take collagen and gelatin, which has a uniqueness of fish lice, that is, which contains rich in non-polar amino acids, which includes glycine, alanine, valine, and proline. So if we take collagen and gelatin, it has wide applications in the field of medical and pharmaceutical industries, especially for the carrier molecules for drugs, proteins, and genes. So if we take microfibrous collagen sheets, which is used as a promising drug carrier for the treatment of cancer. And if we take collagen film or matrix, it can be used as a gene delivery agents for promoting bone and cartilage formations. And also collagen has been reported to play a role in the formation of tissues as well as functional expression of cells. So collagen gelatin are currently marketed as supplement for maintenance of normal bone integrity and also for the treatment of brittle nails and for the nourishment of scalp hair. So some of the applications of gelatin peptides, if we take which has antimicrobial activity, antihypertensive, anti-cancer, antioxidant, and anti-diabetic, and many more applications are there. Collagen and gelatin can be prepared from fish bone also. So the organic component of fish bone, which accounts nearly 30% of the material, is made out of collagen. So fish bone is considered as a source to isolate collagen and gelatin in addition to fish skin. So fish bone consists around 60 to 70% of inorganic substances and mainly composed of calcium phosphate and hydroxyapatite. So generally calcium, if we take calcium is obtained from the diet, right? And it's severely deficient in most of regular diets. But we can prepare calcium fortified products are in the market and demand for these products is growing continuously. So consumption of whole small fish is nutritionally beneficial, providing with the rich source of calcium. See, while we are taking a small fish, we can take along with the bone so that we can readily get the calcium from the small fishes. So fish bone material derived from processing large fish is a useful calcium source where the quantity of calcium is concerned. So fish bone minerals in medicinal sciences. Actually, in order to incorporate, actually fish bone will be strong, right? So in order to incorporate, what we have to do, we have to soften it. So it has through hot water treatment and hot acetic acid solutions and reduce the soluble components from fish tissue so that we can recovery within a shorter period of time. So actually hydroxyapatite, which is introduced as a bone graft material in a range of medical and dental applications due to their similar chemical composition. So actually from the fish, we can take the bone waste. So by series of reactions, which includes boiling as well as drying. So through that we can get calcination by the process of electric furnace. Through that we'll be getting hydroxyapatite powder. So in that we'll be having many biomedical applications. Next, byproducts from fish internal organs. See, actually, if we take internal organs like viscera, so which has a rich source of enzymes, mainly which has high catalytic activity at relatively low concentrations. So, fish processing byproducts are currently used for enzyme extractions like pepsin, trypsin, chymotrypsin, and collagenases are commercially extracted from marine fish viscera in large scale. So viscera is an important internal organ. So through that we can get many enzymes, proteolytic enzymes. So these characteristics of fish enzymes have made them suitable for different applications in many food processing operations. So actually, crude enzyme mixtures from internal organs of some fish species are used in isolation of bioactive components from fish protein hydrolysates. Actually, chitinases as well as chitonases can be isolated from digestive tract and other organs of some marine fish species. So these enzymes promote the recovery of chitin and chitosan from marine byproducts necessary for a wide array of applications. So use of these enzymes would be of more economical in the process of isolating bioactive compounds from marine shell waste. Actually, this is a schematic representation for the preparation of chitin, chitosan. So at the end of this session, I just want to conclude that so through byproducts processing of fish, we can get many bioactive components, bioactive drugs. So all the trash materials also can be converted into commercial commercial purpose suitable bioactive drugs. Through that, we'll be having many wide applications in all the major life science fields like. So we can get bone calcium powder, fish protein isolates, enzymes, fish oil, collagen, gelatin. So everything we can get from this fish. So fishery plays an important role in a commercial as well as economical purpose. So a lot of research has to be done in this field to come to get better results. So so thank you so much for your patient listening of my speech. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Vice Chancellor Sir and Registrar Sir of Annamalai University. I extend my sincere gratitude to the Dean, Directors, Faculty, members in CAS and Marine Biology for the opportunity given to me for this wonderful session. I would like to thank most respected Vice Chancellor Sir and Registrar Sir of Wales University, Vistas, for giving me such opportunity. And I would like to thank a special mention to Dr. Devasigamani sir for as a mentor and for giving me this opportunity to present over here. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, madam, for your
Thank you, sir.
nice presentation. So if you have any queries, any question, please come forward. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
I come on Dr. Ansuji, ma'am. Please come to yours. Madam.
I am thrilled to introduce Dr. P. Amuda, Assistant Professor, Department of Biochemistry, School of Life Sciences, Vistas, Pallavaram. She is a pioneer in the fields of marine biology, pharmacology, toxicology, nanomedicine, and cancer biology. She has done the UG in the Bharati Women's College, Chennai, with distinction. She has done her PG in the Meenakshi College for Women, Chennai. MPhil in the Priest University, Janju, and her doctoral degree in the Discharged Chennai in the field of biochemistry and has published many research papers in reputed journals. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us your vibrant lecture.
Thank you so much. Thank you once again. You all.
Thank you, madam, for your nice presentation. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Shall I leave, sir?
No problem, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Mute. Yeah, please.
ஆனா சார் கட் பண்ண வேணாம் சொன்னீங்க சார் கட் பண்ணா போயிடும் கட் பண்ணா
Anything? ஏதாச்சும் டவுட் இருக்கா? சாப்பிட்டா வாங்கி தந்துருக்கீங்களா? பாதி பேருக்கு விஷயம் கிடைக்குது சார். ஓகே மேடம். தேங்க் யூ. சார் நம்ம நெக்ஸ்ட் போலாம். என்ன பண்ண? அப்படியே லைவ்ல எடுத்துப்பா. லைவ்ல
மேடத்தோட பிரசன்டேஷனா மேம் உங்க பிரசன்டேஷன் எங்க வைக்கணும் மேம் இது நீங்க போடியம் போறீங்களா பிரசன்டேஷன் மாஸ்டர் இதுதான் ஏங்க நான் செட் பண்ணிடுறேன் க்ளோஸ் பண்ணுறீங்களா போட்டுவா மேம் இதை தானே அது ஓகே Madam? Yes. You go there. I go there. Okay, the light put on. The light put on.
ரைட் இது ஸ்டேஜ் லைட் போட்டுறாங்க அதான் தெரியும்.
Stage light.
அப்பதான் உங்களுக்கு வெளிச்சமா தெரியும். ரைட் இருக்கா? அதுல உங்களோட பேஸ் தெரியும்.
அதான் stage light. Stage light.
ஆமா.
Stage light.
Entire screen entire screen வேண்டாம் அது entire screen slide marks ஒரு நிமிஷம் மேல ஸ்டாப் பண்ணு ஸ்கிரீன் ஸ்டாப் சாரி
We now invite an admirable person who has sailed all the way long from Chennai to add glory to our program. None other than Dr. Associate Professor of Zoology, Presidency College, Chennai, to give her lecture. She has 23 years of experience in teaching and 25 years of research. She presently works on stress protein of aquatic animals. She also published many research papers in reputed journals and is a reviewer of Elsevier and his focus journals. She also is serving as an expert in the Staff Selection Commission, TRB, ICMR, and the GAPs. We are eager to hear from you, ma'am. My voice is audible or not? Yeah, I think from morning we have been hearing about what is the scope of how do you increase the immunity of the immunity in fishes. I think you all know the importance of the immune system, how the immune system works. After this corona, I think you would have all heard about the importance of the immune system, and you have many immune boosters which are coming up in the market, as well as you have vaccines which are available. And I think from morning you have heard lectures regarding immunostimulants, You are using immunosuppressants in the form of prebiotics, probiotics, as well as nanomaterials. As such, I think as a new student as well as PG students, you are aware of
Second space.
I think you are all aware of the immune system. At least in human beings, I think you have been learning right from your 12th standard, from your 10th standard. Here for this today, I would like to tell you something on the fish immunology and the fish immune system. How the immune cells are different in human beings, in mammals, as well as in the fish. Fish is a very lower vertebrate. It comes under lower vertebrate group, and it shows very primitive structures. I think you all know where are the immune system right. You have heard about the primary lymphoid organs as well as secondary lymphoid organs. The primary lymphoid organs, I think you all know where these are present in mammals, as well as the secondary lymphoid organs, where the maturation of the immune cells takes place. Whereas in the case of fishes, the system is not that very well defined, and hence you have certain primitive structures which are seen where these immune cells are, or the immune organs or tissues cells are as such is present. So here I would like to tell you about the fish immune system. This is an overview or given how the innate system works, what are the different molecules that are separated. You have two different types of immunity which is normally seen. One is the innate immunity and other is the adaptive immunity. In the case of innate immunity, which is a natural immunity which a child or any individual is born, it has its own natural immunity that is called as the innate immunity. This innate immunity, however, it is not specific in nature. So it is non-specific. It is not specific because it is not being primed by any of the microorganisms or any of the antigen. Hence, it is highly non-specific in nature. Whereas the adaptive immunity, you see, it is highly specific in nature, and hence this innate immunity or the natural immunity is the first line of defense. It is normally seen in all vertebrate groups as well as in the invertebrate groups. In the case of fishes, the innate immunity level, you have non-specific cellular immunity as well as non-specific humoral immunity. I think you all know what a humoral immunity means. It is about the antibodies. Whereas the non-specific cellular immunity includes the toll-like receptor, that is TL receptors, which is normally seen even in human beings. You have the toll-like receptors, and you have the macrophages, the granulocytes. All these comprise of the non-specific cellular immunity. Okay, in slide one. Where is the slide? Yeah. Next one is the non-specific humoral immunity. The non-specific humoral immunity. In the case of non-specific humoral immunity, what are the substances which are secreted by the non-specific humoral immunity? It includes lysozyme. I think you all know it is present in human beings. It's present in the saliva. Normally present in the saliva where it cleaves the bacterial cell wall and does not allow the proliferation of the bacteria. That is a lysozyme. Even in fishes, you have lysozymes. The alkaline phosphatase is another molecule. That's the complements, the interferons, the C-reactive proteins, the transferrin, and the lectins. So these are all the non-specific humoral immunity. Next, you have acute in the light I'm the same even.
போடியத்தில் இருக்கேன்.
The next one you have the adaptive immunity. I think the innate immunity is clear for you all. Next you come to the adaptive immunity. In the case of adaptive immunity, the innate after the microbe or the pathogen which enters the system, that is the fish, it has been first in. It has been escaped. Once it escapes the innate immunity, it enters into the adaptive immunity, where the adaptive immunity comprises of the humoral immunity, the mucosal immunity, as well as the cellular immunity. In the humoral immunity, you see it's by secretion of antibodies, the B cells. Next, you have the mucosal immunity. Next, followed by the cellular immunity. The cellular immunity of the adaptive immunity comprises of the T cells, which is a major component here in the case of fishes. Next slide. Next slide. So this immune system it plays a very important role mainly because it prevents it. Actually, it maintains a homeostasis because once a pathogen enters inside the system, it causes disturbances, and hence the system has to be always in the state of homeostasis. So this homeostasis is mainly maintained by because there should not be an increase in the complement, there should not be any increase in the antibodies, the immunoglobulin molecules, or the macrophages, or the granulocytes, or the lymphocytes. So any increase will lead to what? Cancerous growth, cancer of the blood, and hence the system should always be in the state of homeostasis. That homeostasis is brought about by the immune system. So immune system plays a major role in maintaining the system at homeostasis. Next you have because fishes being poikilothermic animals, cold-blooded animals, the system has to react depending upon the external environment. Because fish being aquatic in nature, it has to come across many of the external stresses like temperature, because it's being a poikilothermic animal. As cold-blooded animal, it has to maintain body temperature depending upon the external temperature. So, being poikilothermic animals, it's very difficult for these animals to maintain the system at the homeostasis. It depends upon the system, or the immune system depends upon the external factors. That is the abiotic external factors. I think you all know what are the abiotic factors. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah. Okay, fine. So this, you see this, the fish immune system will be understood. Okay. So if you see the innate immunity, first once a pathogen enters into the system, you have the pathogens being recognized by the toll-like receptors. I told you about the toll-like receptors. These toll-like receptors are being these ones will recognize any pathogen which enters inside. This is the first immune cell which responds to the incoming pathogen. It can be any of these microorganisms, be it a virus or a bacteria or any other microorganism which enter, or any antigen which enters inside. So if you see the lampreys, hatfishes, and other jawless fishes, they lack two lymphoid organs. So you have, I think you all know about the cartilaginous fishes as well as the teleos fishes. Teleos fishes, like you have different lymphoid organs, and in the case of elasmobranchs, that is the chondriticus, that is in cartilaginous fishes, you have a different lymphoid cells, lymphoid cells, what is seen in the different tissues. If you see, for example, the case of chondriticus, that is the case of sharks. There are the lymphoid organs are very unique to the chondriticus, which are not seen in other type of fishes. If you see in the teleos fishes, you do not have a Leydig organ as such is not seen in the teleos fishes. Whereas in the elasmobranchs, next slide. In the elasmobranchs, you can see that you have a specialized cells which are called as a Leydig cells, which is present in the upper as well as the lower pharyngeal esophagus region. So in the esophagus region, you can see the Leydig cells, Leydig organ, not the cells, the organ which is present in only in the elasmobranchs, which is not seen in the teleos. Teleos, the main, the immune system is confined mainly to the head kidney. The head of the kidney is called the pronephros kidney, where in the fishes, in teleos fishes, where the major immune system or the lymphoid organs are present in the case of teleos. In the case of chondriticus, it is confined to the Leydig cells as well as the head kidney. The major lymphoid organ, you can see the elasmobranch is only in the Leydig organs, right? Okay. So first one is innate immunity and non-specific cellular immunity. So in this non-specific cellular immunity, you go to the toll-like receptors slide. Okay, then toll-like receptors slide. So this next, the non-specific cellular immunity, the first receptor, I told you the first molecule which recognizes the cell, which recognizes the pathogen is the toll-like receptors. These toll-like receptors are capable of recognizing the pathogen. Even this toll-like receptors mimics the mammalian toll-like receptors. Not only in fishes, you have both in the mammals also. The first toll-like receptors in fishes was isolated in goldfish, and in many later by many fishes it has been isolated and characterized to have. So this toll-like receptors, they stimulate the inflammatory response and initiates an innate immunity. If any deficiency or any mutation which takes place in these toll-like receptors, the system, the individual or any of the organism, they cannot recognize the pathogen as a pathogen. So it is very important for these toll-like receptors to play a prime role in the innate immunity. Next slide. So next is non-specific cellular immunity are the macrophages. I think you all know the monocytes usually. I think you all know about the granulocytes as well as the lymphocytes. If you see the monocyte is also one of the WBC which are present here in the part of the serum. And these monocytes, once activated or primed by the pathogen, it becomes a macrophage. So you call macrophages to be defined in different regions, but depending upon which region these macrophages are present, it is called by different names. If it is a tissue, you have tissue. If it is monocytes, undergoes maturation in the tissues, you call them as macrophage. So depending upon where the site of maturation of the monocytes, you call by different names. And these macrophages, as the name suggests, it helps in phagocytosis. So this macrophage are the main immune cell, whereas these are non-specific. I think you all know the difference between non-specific and specific. Non-specific, now without knowing which pathogen it is, it goes and tries to kill the or phagocytize the organism. So it is a non-specific pathogen, non-specific cellular immunity which is confined by these macrophages. So this macrophages, if you see here in the case of fishes, it is present in the thymus region. And this thymus, you have two regions in the thymus, the outer cortex and the inner medulla. And these two regions itself contains these macrophages. And depending three kinds of macrophages are commonly identified in the case of thymus of Helios, you have the melanomacrophages, the monocytes, as well as the multinucleated giant cells. These are the three different types of macrophages which are seen in the case of fish. Are the one the Helios fishes. Next slide, you have the granulocytes. I think granulocytes, I think you all know the neutrophils, the eosinophil, as well as the basophils, which are normally seen. And these granulocytes are otherwise called the polymorphonuclear leukocytes. And so the granulocytes also play a major role in the case of what is it called non-specific cellular immunity by the process of phagocytosis. Next one, you have non-specific cytotoxic cells. This non-specific cytotoxic cells are nothing but in mammals we call them as natural killer cells. So these natural killer cells are similar to these non-specific cytotoxic cells, right? So I think killer cells, I think you all know what are the killer cells. These killer cells usually kill the pathogen. So these are all the non-specific cellular immunity. So next I go on to the non-specific humoral immunity. Humoral immunity, as I told you, what the molecules which are being secreted by these humoral cells. You have the lysozyme, the alkaline phosphatase, you have the complements, you have the interferons, the C-reactive protein, the transferrin, as well as lectins. So all these are non-specific humoral immunity. I think you all know about this lysozyme. This lysozyme is usually present in the serum, the mucus, as well as in the serum of the individual, of the fish. I think the fish level, you have the layer which is called as the mucus. This mucus will contain what? Lysozyme enzyme, which is the bacteria. Okay, so these lysozyme also plays a role in the immunity. Next one, you have alkaline phosphatase. Alkaline phosphatase is an indicator of any bacterial infection. So if you have any bacterial infection, then automatically the titers of this alkaline phosphatase will also increase. So this one, all these will act in tandem to prevent the pathogen to enter inside. So when all these mechanisms fail, the adaptive immunity will act. So innate immunity is the first immunity which acts on the pathogen, which is very important. Next one, there are the complements. I think you all know the complement. You have the alternate pathway, a classical pathway, as well as you have another pathway. So all these pathways here, the fishes function. You have this alternate pathway, which is very active. The alternate pathway only is very important in the case of fish complement. So next one, you have the interferons. I think interferons, you all know, it is usually secreted in a virally infected cell. So when the pathogen is a virus which enters the pathogen, once the virus enters, it secretes interferons. So interferons are the major molecules which kills the virally infected cells. Okay, I think I don't want to go into deeper as this time is crossed. Next one are the C-reactive proteins. proteins. The C-reactive proteins are also the indicator of any infection or inflammation. This inflammation will always be able to increase the C-reactive protein. Next one there, I think it's time for y'all. I go on to my last slide. Only this diagram. I think this is slide visible. See, you can see the gills as well as the gill as well as the intestine. So in certain organisms, you can see the molecules which are seen in the intestine, concentrated in the intestine, and certain cells which are seen in the gills. So you can see that you have a covering of the mucus. The mucus will contain all these immune cells and immune molecules. They act on the primary, that is a natural immunity, that is innate immunity. Next one, this is the LS of the mucus lemma. Where you can see the outer covering of the mucus and as well as the epithelial cells. So all these one is a protective. The skin one is a protective agent against the melting of the microbes. So this is the LS of an epithelial the skin there where it shows the outer one. You have the mucous membrane as well as the epithelial layer. Next slide. So once the microorganisms only invade the skin and come inside, what will happen is first one is there is the microorganism attaches to the macrophage followed by invasion, healing as well as degradation. So after degradation, what happens next slide? So this is a bacteria which after degradation, what happens? You have the bacterium with the T-dependent antigens. The T helper cells present the processed antigen on the surface of as class 2 MX molecule. So class 2 MX molecule are more evident in the case of bacterial infections. So you can see the class 2 MX molecule being expressed in the case of bacterial infected cell or T helper cells. Next one, what happens is once one of the class 2 molecule is expressed on the T helper cell, what happens is you have two processes taking place. One is a maturation of the T helper cell. The secrete cytokines. The cytokines it stimulates the B cells to either enter into the maturation to form the plasma cell to secrete antibodies, or on the other hand, it forms memory cells. So that when second infection comes in, the memory cells will start secreting antibodies. Right? So this is a very important feature in the case of bacterial infections, where you have the expression of class 2 along with the T helper cells. Okay. So next type of infection, next slide. You can see that the virally infected cell. In a virally infected cell, the dendritic cells, what happens? The dendritic cells, it expresses class 2 MHC molecule along with class 1 MHC molecule. It starts, it binds with the CD8 cells. On the CD4 cells, in the one you have the CD8 cells. So class 1 MHC molecule, you have the attachment of CD8 cells. The CD8 cells, it causes maturation into a memory cell as well as cytotoxic T cells. Cytotoxic T cells, it causes degradation on one hand. The memory T cells, control proteins, it causes destruction. So it is a virally infected cell. It will express class 1 MHC molecule as well as cytotoxic T cells. If it is class 2 bacterial infection, it expresses its antigen on the antigen presenting cell. It will express as class 2 MHC molecule along with T helper cells. It causes plasma maturation of plasma cell as well as memory cells. So this is the overview of how the pathogens, once it enters, whether it is a bacteria or it is a virus, how it acts on the system, how the immune system gets stimulated to react to the incoming pathogen. Right? Are you able to get what it is? The outline of what is innate immunity, what is acquired adaptive immunity. Thank you. I thank Dr. Sigamani, the organizing secretary, for inviting me for this talk. And thank you for your patience in listening. This is the last session, I think. From morning, we've been hearing about the enhancement of immune system, how the fish immunity can be enhanced. But this topic should have been first to give an overview of what are the immune cells that are actually involved. But however, the slot was provided for me only at the last. And so, very short presentation. I have actually limited my presentation. Thank you all. And I also who's a director of this CAS Marine Biology. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am, for your fruitful session. It's made us enjoy. The leader is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. We would like to request the organizer of this wonderful program, the distinguished UGC Award, who has published number of papers in the nature journal, none other than Dr. Biochemistry and eminent associate professor of all restricted faculty to interact with the participants.
Very good afternoon, one and all. Dr. Meena, thank you, madam, for accepting our invitation. So, if you have any doubt from madam presentation, please come forward. Please ask your queries, questions, any doubt, please. Ma'am is one of the leading scientists, and she has published a lot of papers. And another one important point. So this is the right time I am going to share with you. So she is already cleared SLED and UGC net for 4 times. Just you can imagine, 4 times. So such a wonderful map. She's had a lot of potential in the field of aquaculture and biotechnology aspect. So he is a role model for all of us. I would say personally, she is a role model teacher and as well as good personality. If you have any kind of, whether it is teaching or whether it is research, immediately she will react. So this is an opportunity for all of us. I am thankful to our Dean sir for helping and supporting through the funding agency DSC first 2 program. I thank to authorities of Annamalai University and I thank to DRD director and deputy director and other my co-organizing team for especially Dr. Ansuji ma'am and Ayyan Perumal sir. So he is the pillar for me. So he is supporting lot. Without the cooperation of our co-organizer, I am not so doing in any kind of work in the today event. So I am very thankful to Ayyan Perumal sir and Ansuji ma'am and Dr. Gopalakrishnan. So right now, our Dean sir and along with our team members, so have the feedback today program feedback. Please, any student, please come forward, give your ideas for today events. Because it's after the COVID still is going on. You know very well about that. Within the COVID time, so we are having this such a wonderful seminar and a workshop program. It's very difficult. So today, so we have 4 presentation. Among the 4 presentation, so you have to give your feedback. So which one is you are attracting that? Which one is sir? It is motivating talk, sir. Really, I have some gathering some knowledge from ma'am talk and today Arun sir talk. Anything, please come forward and give your feedback. Please, one by one. Sir, Dean sir, please sir, please. One, sir, Dean, Dr. Gandhi, please. So, Mr. Gandhi, very soon he will have doctorate. So I hope Dr. Gandhi from Indira Gandhi Arts and Science College and call upon Dr. Devika. Please come to see. Please come. Sir, I am sir, please. Answer you, please. Please. ஸ்டேஜுக்கு திருப்பி கேமரா. Please. Yes, students. Allah, stage வரலாம். உங்களுக்கு இது பெரிய ஒரு opportunity. our dean sir is there. இந்த program பத்தி நீங்க பேசலாம். சார் எப்படி இருக்குது? சார் சாப்பாடு வந்து எப்படி இருக்குது சார்? தைரியமா சொல்லலாம் நீங்க. புரியுதா? சில பேருக்குலாம் வந்து நம்ம மீட் கிடைச்சது நான் கிடைக்கலனாங்க. ஏன்னா live program is going on. So live இது feedback நீங்க சொல்லலாம். வாங்க. இது நம்மளோட program. Please come. Please come to stage and share your
Thank you for this great opportunity. Because நிறைய biotechnology project தான் பண்றோம். ஸோ இது மூலமா நாங்க நிறைய இந்த செமினார் மூலமா நிறைய கற்றுக்கிட்டோம். அண்ட் நாங்கள் நிறைய இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் இந்த கேதர் பண்ணோம். அதனால வந்து இந்த ப்ராஜெக்ட் எனக்கு ரொம்ப இந்த செமினார் எனக்கு ரொம்ப யூஸ்ஃபுல்லாக இருந்துச்சு. தேங்க்யூ ஃபார்
Welcome to another here. Actually, we are coming from Pondicherry, Indira College of Arts and Science, and I'm studying second year. Since we have attended the seminar first time about the national seminar on fish immune enhancement technique and its importance. நாங்கள் இந்த மாதிரி அட்டன் பண்ணதில்லை. ஆக்சுவலி நார்மல் செமினார் ஒரு மானிட்டரி அஃபிலியேட்டடா அப்படிதான் அட்டன் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். ஸோ திஸ் சீம்ஸ் டு பி வெரி யூஸ்ஃபுல் அண்ட் ஏதோ ஒரு லேர்னிங் அந்த எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் கெயின் பண்ண மாதிரி இருக்கு. அண்ட் அபவுட் தட் த ஸ்காலர்ஸ் இப்போ ப்ரெசென்ட் த செமினார் ரொம்ப யூஸ்ஃபுல்லாக இருக்கு எங்களுக்கு. ஒரு கிரிட்டிக்கல் திங்கிங் அண்ட் கிரியேட்டிவாக யோசிக்க முடியுது. அண்ட் தேங்க்யூ ஆல் ஃபார் திஸ் ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி. My name is Sanjay. I'm from first year at Arts and Science College. I'm studying first year Biotechnology. This day's seminar was interesting and exciting for me. I learned more things about the marine biotechnology, and I wish to study MS biotechnology, and I wish to serve for my nation.
I want to thank Mr. Gandhi about few words about the today program. Please, sir.
இந்த வாய்ப்பளித்த பேராசிரியர் திரு தேவசிகாமணி சாருக்கு முதல்ல நன்றி. எப்பொழுதுமே எந்த நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு போனாலும் எங்களோட மாணவர்களை பேசலாம் பேச வச்சிருந்த வழக்கம். சரியா எங்களோட மாணவருக்கு ஸ்பேஸ் கொடுத்ததுக்கு நன்றி சார். ஏன்னா இன்னைக்கு செக்ஷன் முழுக்க எனக்கு மிகப்பெரிய திருப்தி இருந்தது. என்ன காரணம்னா இன்னைக்கு பேசுற 2 செக்ஷன், ஒன்று மெரைன் பயோடெக்னாலஜி, இன்னொன்று வந்து மெரைன் இம்யூனாலஜி, ஃபிஷ் இம்யூனாலஜி. இந்த 2 சப்ஜெக்ட் நான் தான் எடுக்கிறேன் இந்த மாணவர்களுக்கு. ஒழுங்கா எடுக்கிறதுன்னு தெரியல, ஆனா வந்து பாதி நேரம் தூங்குவாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ஏன்னா இப்போ கரெக்டா இம்யூனாலஜியும் இப்பதான் செகண்ட் இயர் கிளாஸ் இம்யூனாலஜி கிளாஸ் எடுத்துட்டு மேடம் சொல்லும் போதெல்லாம் சரி என்னடா கிளாஸ் சொல்லி இருக்க விஷயத்தையும் இங்க மேடம் சொல்றாங்க, எங்கே நமக்கு வேலை என்ன போயிடுவோம் ஒரு பயம் இருந்துச்சு. அப்புறம் ப்ரோபயோட்டிக்ஸ் போன செமஸ்டர் நான் எடுக்கும் பொழுது கொஞ்சம் டாபிக் எல்லாம் ஸ்கிப் பண்ணேன். அந்த டாபிக் கரெக்டா சார் வந்து அருண் சார் வந்து எடுத்தாரு. இன்னும் நிறைய டாபிக் இருக்கு வந்து பசங்க தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டாங்க. இப்போ எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம். ரொம்ப வருஷம் கழிச்சு இந்த மாதிரி செக்ஷன் அட்டெண்ட் பண்றது. குறிப்பா மெரைன் பயோடெக்னாலஜி சார்ந்து இந்த யூனிவர்சிட்டி வந்து இப்பதான் நான் முதல் முறையா ஒரு செஷன் அட்டெண்ட் பண்றேன். இந்த வாய்ப்பு அளித்த டீன் சாருக்கு, ஆர்கனைசிங் கமிட்டி கோஆர்டினேட்டர் ப்ரொஃபசர் தேவசிமன் சார் அண்ட் co-coordinators, professors and டைரக்டர் எல்லாருக்குமே எங்களோட கல்லூரி சார்பாகவும் எங்களோட பேராசிரியர் மற்றும் மாணவர்கள் சார்பாகவும் மிகப்பெரிய நன்றி. நன்றி.
Thank you, Dr. Gandhi, for your valuable feedback, as well as we thank the other participants who came over here and gave your feedback. So we now request our most respectful Dean, Dr. P. Anandaraman, to address us.
Hello. கேக்குதா? கேக்குச்சா? அழகான மாலை நேரத்திலே அழகாக இருக்கின்ற மாணவ கண்மணிகளே, அழகாக மேடையிலே அமர்ந்திருக்கின்ற பேராசிரியர் பெருமக்களே, உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் அழகான ஒரு மாலை வணக்கத்தினை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்வதில் மற்றற்ற மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறேன். So I am very happy today we also attended the Fish Immunology enhancement training program. So a lot of members coming from Indira Gandhi Arts and Science College and Tagore Arts and Science College. நிறைய கேதர் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கீங்க. Fish Immunology review and Arun sir வந்து Fish Immunity enhancement techniques. Another lecture பார்த்தீங்கன்னா Nano formulations in Fish Immunology. Another one, importance of biochemistry of fisheries and fish immune system from the Davis Farm. Today, one day, today you also learning something about the fish immunology techniques. Today morning onwards, all the members very much the fish immune system mainly based on this particular fish. You fish அப்படி இம்மிடியேட்டா ஃபிஷிங் செத்துக்க முடியாது. யூ டோன்ட் கெட் திஸ் சம் வீக் ரெஸ்பான்ஸ். அப்படி என்ன ஒரு பழமொழி சொன்னோம்ல, அது ஒரு கொடுக்க முடியாது ஈஸியா இம்மிடியேட்டா எஸ்கேப் ஆகி போய். தட்ஸ் ஆல்சோ ஒன் ஆஃப் தி இம்யூன் டெக்னாலஜி. அந்த ஃபிஷோட ஸ்கின் அண்ட் த கிரேட் ஸ்கின் இருக்கு பாத்தீங்களா, Gas also secrete all the time nucleus. And gill. And the gill, some of the parasites, some of the diseases also first start. First you start the any type of disease. Already told today morning. Mainly bacterial, viral, and fungal disease. Not only human being, all organisms, living organisms. Our culture panna very big job, task. Your organism culture panna, up to mortality level culture panna very good. Our mortality actually control panna. That's also very important. No body private selvam idea. Private selvam. No varam irukku. எல்லாரும் மாஸ்க் பண்ணி இருக்காங்க. ஏன்? எலெக்ஷன் முடிஞ்சா கொரோனா போயிடும். இல்லையா? எலெக்ஷன் முடிஞ்சு திரும்ப கொரோனா வரும். எத்தனை பேர் வருதுன்னு தெரியல. வீடோமா. மாஸ் எக்ஸ்பிரஷன் முடிஞ்சா there's a diagnosis ஒரு எசென்ஷியலா human being is one of the living organism. உண்மையில ஒரே டைம்ல எல்லாம் பிரச்சனை ஒண்ணும் பண்ண முடியாது. ஆல் சிக்குன்குனியா, மட்டன் குனியா, கோக்குனியா, ஆல் குனியாஸ். இல்லையா? எல்லா புண்ணியம் வருது, எல்லா டிசீஸ் வருது. வாட்டர் குவாலிட்டி மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் கரெக்டா இருக்கணும், ஃபீட் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் கரெக்டா இருக்கணும், சீட் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் கரெக்டா இருக்கணும். அந்த லாகில் நல்ல அந்த விளையும் முறையை தெரியும். இந்த லாகில் வந்து பார்த்தோம்னா இது ஆக்டிவா இருக்கும். அந்த லாகில் வந்து எப்படி ஆக்டிவா இருந்தாலும் அந்த சீட் வந்து நல்லா இருக்கும். கேட்சரிங்ஸ்ல வந்து லாட் ஆஃப் ப்ராப்ளம். அந்த ஃபீட் ஓவரா கொடுத்தாலும் லாட் ஆஃப் ப்ராப்ளம். ஃபீட் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் கரெக்டா இருக்கணும். பேலன்ஸ் டைட் சொல்றோமா இல்லையா? நம்ம எங்க பேலன்ஸ் டைட் எடுக்கிறோம். நான் பாத்தீங்கன்னா இருக்கக்கூடிய லேடிஸ் எல்லாம் பார்த்தோம்னா எல்லாருமே அனிமிக் ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கு. நீ பிளட் டொனேட் பண்ணா எல்லாருமே பண்ண முடியாது. பிளட் லெவல் கரெக்டா இருக்கும். ஆர்பிசி, டபிள்யூபிசி இதெல்லாம் பிரச்சனை. நியூட்ரிஷன் இதுல வந்து எல்லாமே ஃபிஷ் ஆர்கன்ஸ், இம்யூன் சிஸ்டம் எல்லாம் டெவலப் பண்ணா வியாச டுடே வியாச கிங் தட் ஸ்பைக்கினா இஸ் தி பெஸ்ட் லைவ்லிஹுட். they all should farming catching வந்து ஸ்பைக்கினா மிக்ஸ் பண்ணி கொடுக்குறாங்க. fish or shrimp கொடுக்குறாங்க. the mortality rate also decrease. mortality வந்து இல்லாம பண்ணணும். அப்ப seaweed one of the feed கொடுக்குறாங்க. best immunostimulators seaweed இருக்கு, spirulina இருக்கு. the spirulina also highest protein content, single cell protein. அப்பதான் நம்ம add with that feed formulation technique. அப்படி கொடுத்தாச்சுன்னா no disease. otherwise we are gathering more information today topic the immune technology. So I think all of us today benefited enough. So once again I thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. The director here also organized day after tomorrow 23rd the livelihood culture for marine fisheries. Now the program conduct பண்றோம். Those for interest please come and join. Okay, livelihood culture, phytoplankton, zooplankton culture technique, directly for collection, isolation and how to culture technique. Only training program day after tomorrow. Those for interest please contact already that everything person. Okay, already contact names. So once again thank you very much for giving the opportunity. Various contact episode na morning சொன்னாங்க. all compounds seminar நடத்துறது various company தான். எங்க சென்டரோட ஒரு ஆக்டிவ் பர்சன், ஆக்டிவ் ரிசர்ச் please give me a big clap to David. That's a pretty அந்த மாதிரி எல்லா ரிசர்ச்சர்ஸும் also publish very good thing. All the researchers, you also MSc biotechnology or microbiology, anything. After joining that PhD program, after you coming in the PhD program, 3 P's are very important. What's the 3 P's? You know, one is the publication, and another one product, then one product. At the time only you also very big level, all the movement on the global level, and another one patent. 3 P's very important. Anyone has patent your patent permanent. Okay, அந்த ஏ கூட ஒர்க் பண்ணுங்க. நீங்க எல்லாம் யங் சயின்டிஸ்ட் மொத்த பார்த்தாலே தெரியுது, அழகான ஆராய்ச்சியாளர்கள். ஓகே, மொத்த பார்த்தாலே தெரியுது யங் சயின்டிஸ்ட் ஃபியூச்சர். உங்களுக்கு நீங்களே கை தட்டலாம். ஃபியூச்சர் சயின்டிஸ்ட் அதுவே நீங்க அழகா இந்த கோஆர்டினேஷன் டாக்டர் அஜித் பெருமாள் சார் அவர் பார்த்தாச்சுன்னா எப்பவும் முன்சிருக்கு எப்பவுமே சிரிச்ச மாத்தோட இருப்பாரு. பக்கத்துல ஐயப்பெருமாள் சார் அவங்க கூட இருந்துச்சா தெய்வசமாதி கவலை இல்லை. அது பக்கத்துல அருமையா இருக்கின்ற காந்தி சார் அவர் பார்த்தாலே அந்த ரஜினிகாந்த் சொல்றாங்க மகிழ்ச்சி அதே போல எங்க காலையில ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு பெஸ்ட் ஸ்பீக்கர் பெஸ்ட் ரிசர்ச்சர் ஆன்சி மேடம் அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு பெரிய கைடு எந்த ஒரு என்னடா இவ்வளவு பேர் சொன்னாங்க முக்கியமா சொல்லலையேன்னு பாத்தீங்களா. அடுத்த பாத்தீங்கன்னா மீனா மேடம். மீனானா காலையில நான் சொல்லியிருந்தேன் மேடம் வந்து மீனா மீனா நாங்க அழைத்தோம் உடனே வந்துருவாங்க. எங்களுடைய க்ளோஸ் ஃப்ரெண்ட்னு சொல்லலாம். அந்த அளவுக்கு எங்க சீரியஸ் ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு ரிலேஷன்ஷிப்ல இருக்கக்கூடியவங்க. டுடே டாக் அபௌட் தி ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் டெவலப்மென்ட் அண்ட் ப்ளஸ் இன்னும் ரிவ்யூ ரிசர்ச் நிறைய ஒர்க் பண்ணி நல்ல டாக் கொடுத்தாங்க. அவங்களுக்கும் பெரிய ஒரு டாக் கொடுக்கலாம் மீனா மேடத்துக்கு. இன்னமும் அழகாக இருக்கு இல்லையா, அழகான மீன் கயல் விழி. எங்க ஹாஸ்பிட்டலே கயல் விழி தான், கயல் விழி சரியா. அடுத்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா கயற்கி பக்கத்தில் இருக்கக்கூடிய மேடம் வந்து தேவிகா மேடம். சொன்னாங்க இல்லை இல்லை மேடம் சொன்னாங்க. நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொண்டு எனக்கு வாய்ப்பளித்த தேவசாமிக்கும் நான் உங்களோடு இருந்து ஆனந்தமா இருக்க காரணமே இவங்க எல்லாம் தான், இந்த டீம் மட்டும் தான். அதனாலதான் இந்த ப்ரோக்ராம் சக்சஸ்ஃபுல்லா பண்றோம். சோ இதுவரை அமைதியாக இருந்து அமைதியாக கேட்ட என் அன்பு உள்ளங்களுக்கு நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொண்டு நன்றியை வணக்கம்.
Thank you, sir, for your enthusiastic address. We now request our dean sir to distribute certificates to the participants.
எல்லாரும் போட்டு வந்துட்டாங்க. சட்டை கட்டு சட்டை எல்லாரும் தெரியும்.
Young Madheshwaran.
Please come back. Come fast.
Sanjay. D. Murugaratnam. A. Kumar. Zayat Bibi Fatima.
சார் மாஸ்க் எடுக்கல
Eastern.
நீங்க இங்க பாருங்க
Aditi. D. Aditi.
மேம் இங்க பாருங்க
D. Chandrayanu Ambar. D. Chandrayanu Ambar. M. Saktivela Karthik. M. Saktivela Karthik. Now we request our organizer to give the order checks.
Most welcome, Dean of this center, and the respected Director of the center. So the program is going to end. So this is a duty to inform that formal vote of thanks. Before that, I would like to thank to our authorities of Annamari University and BSc First 2 program funded by Government of India. I would like to thank to Department of Faculty members, CAS Marine Biology, Annamari University, Paragipete. And I would like to thank non-teaching staff members of our department. And today's speaker, I am very thankful to Professor Arul sir from Pondicherry Central University. And I would like to thank Dr. Meena from Presidency College for today delivering a wonderful talk about fish immune system and immunity types. And I would like to thank to my student, I am proudly say Dr. S. Kumaran, is working in Satyabama University, Chennai. He's delivered a nanotechnology and fish immune system. And I would like to thank Dr. Amuda from Wales University, Pallavaram, Chennai. She is also delivered the topic of importance of biochemistry in fisheries. So within the short duration, they are trying to give maximum possibility talks. So I really thank to one and all for having full support and cooperation. Really, there is no words, because without the support, without the cooperation, it is not successful any event of this activities, events. That's why I am very thankful to you, my dear friends, today participants, especially for Indira Gandhi Arts and Science College students. I'm really heartful thanks to you, Ma. And I never forget my guru, my mentor, Dr. N. Gurumani sir, my guide. Whenever I deliver a program or deliver a lecture or deliver a whatever it is and why, I'm still I pray and I remember. I never forget my guide, Dr. N. Gurumani sir. He is my pillar. He is my motivator for all the activities. And I would like to thank to my research team. He is my backbone. None other than Dr. Sundaresan and Mr. Sadish. He is a very vibrant person. And Dr. Arul Jodi and Dr. Aparna. Maybe she is going to very soon. He is having doctorate. And Azhar and other team members for enormous support. Without the support, we cannot do anything. I'm really thankful to our research team and our research scholar and other co-organizing secretary, Dr. Prigdishwaran, research scholar, and Dr. Anandaraman sir student, our deans are students. I don't know, so he is interconnecting with dean sir and myself and the research team. Is an internal connect is there. What I thinking, what I am going to planning everything, immediately he give the permission, he accepted everything. Based on me, I know that you are going to do anything in good manner. Please carry on. So this kind of the words is very rare in academic field. I am very thankful to sir, Dean sir, for your having wonderful support to me. So having such a wonderful person, such a wonderful personality. I will say one sir, so this is the beginning. This is not, I am not achieving anything. I am still having some knowledge, still I am searching some knowledge from the students. I don't know how do I get all the things. Sir is pointed out, published in Nature paper, 2 paper is published in Nature Journal. Still I don't know how to that achievement is success. I already patented the one. Already I got it. So these are the thing. I am not only person for having all the activities in the research field. Good friends and good research scholar. If you have a good person with the research scholar, you are doing anything. So that's why all the credits goes to our research team, not for me. I am not giving anything to our students. Only I am giving the ideas. Only I am giving the thoughts. You are going to do anything. And one more thing, I am going to give full freedom. So that is my secret of success. I am not success, sir. Still, I am going to search the success. So these are the things. Already I published a lot of national and international journals. Sir is pointed out. Our dean sir and director sir. But still, sir, I am searching. Still, I am searching. What is the fish immunology? What is the possibilities there? How to develop the vaccine? How to try to give some information to the people? That is very important. The government of India and government of Tamil Nadu, government giving a lot of money to have some activities through the project and the conference and other things. But we are not giving 100% result to the government. I'm sorry to say. We are trying to give 100% to the people and the society and the student and the scholar and other NGOs. But when you this message going to pass on the people and the students means through the conference, through the workshop, through the seminar. So this is the good idea. So that's why the government of India and government of Tamil Nadu giving some fund to have this kind of activities in all the academic institutions. So that's why I am very thankful to funding agency, government of India, especially for Department of Science and Technology for financial support. Without the financial support, you cannot do anything. So another, I would like to thank to Miss Kayalilam Warden, Dr. Murugesan is supporting today lunch and other activities. And I would like to thank all the participants once again. So for your cooperation, it is enormous and speechless. Really, I am thankful to Dr. Devika and Mr. Gandhi sir for supporting us. So, and once again, thank to all the staff members of Annamalai University and staff members of our CAS Marine Biology for supporting today events. So this is the time to end. I hope we will see the next program in future. We hope so we have more interaction with the next training program and a workshop with the support of our dean and directors. So once again, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the time, for your cooperation, my dear friends. See you next time. Bye bye. Take care of your health. Thank you very much. Yes, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, so group photo. Please come one by one. Our 10 students come on the stage and take a group photo. Thank you, ma. Thank you for your support and cooperation. Once again, thank you.
Yeah, first year, second year, third year. Sir.